Hey, story fans, it's your old pal, the Writing Ref. I don't hate, I just officiate your favorite books. With book reviews, I do not call penalties. Instead, I find titles that are penalty free and serve as a great example to us all on how to write plot and story that remain engaging and penalty free. First up this time is City of Shattered Light by Claire Winn, one of my favorites from the past year, who has a second book in this duology coming out soon. So let's go to the booth and let me tell you about City of Shattered Light.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Rebellion tell me to protect them. What if they get sick?
While Danny kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet and Euron's forces.
Were you hungering for a solar system spanning Ghost in the Shell cyberpunk with a found family dynamic? Yeah, so was I. City of Shattered Light is the story of Asa, the daughter of a deranged tech genius, and she's trying to escape the legacy of her father to save her sister, who has been removed from her body and digitized into computer form using unearthed alien technology. And her only hope is a callous, tough-as-nails smuggler and the crew of the Boomslang. The story takes place on Requiem, a smuggler's moon, if you will, of the planet Cortillion, all around Alpha Centauri. Requiem is a neon city not for the faint of heart. But you know a character is a badass when she names her weapons, in this case Blackjack and Vertigo. But there is a tenderness and vulnerability to all Wynn's characters that has me rooting for them. I'm surprised there aren't already shipping wars between main characters Riven and Asa, or Asa and Ty, but there will be. There will be. What would that even be? Riven Asa? Tai Asa? Asa Tai? Anyway. You really buy the found family dynamic as they come together to save not only Asa's sister, but the entire moon of Requiem. Asa's uber-rich dad has a sadistic, gum-chewing cyborg bounty hunter after them, but at the same time he has unwittingly unleashed an alien consciousness capable of taking over technology, and in a city made of neon tech, that can spell doom. Not to mention, all of this puts our heroes on the wrong side of a criminal ruling authority called the Syndicate. Now I'm going to read a selection from one of my favorite scenes in the book so you can get a sense of the stellar writing of Claire Winn. In this scene, Riven has been trapped by the alien intelligence, which has taken over a fighting ring in a nightclub. This nightclub is a spherical type energy balloon that hovers in the middle of the nightclub, and the combatants are to fight beasts. Or normally they fight each other or have weapons to fight beasts, but it's taken away Riven's weapons. I used novel AI to create some imagery to add to the fun, but novel AI, it's a little humorous what it comes up with. But anyway, let's get into the scene. The elevator groaned to a stop. She tensed, waiting for the doors to open. But a high-pitched whine rang out, and her guns were yanked upward. The metal pulled up, forcing Riven onto her toes, until the barrels were touching the ceiling. The force nearly lifted her off her feet, impossibly powerful, an electromagnet. The guns slid from her grasp and locked onto the ceiling with a clank. She clawed at them, trying to pull them away, but they were stuck fast. "Damn it!" she rasped, as the elevator doors opened, revealing the brilliant blinding blue of the holospheres and the vidscenes surrounding them. "Damn it!" The crowd roared. Her heart pounded. She might have an opponent out there, and they'd corner her in the elevator. She had no choice but to enter the fray unarmed. Riven squared her shoulders. If Banshee wanted a show, she'd give the bastard a show. Riven strode onto the curved floor, swaggering like she'd faced death unarmed 1,000 times. The spheres turned turquoise, like the surface of a pool, and her boots left ripples on the transparent surface. Below, the audience bellowed, a crowd of sharks awaiting a meal. Outside the spheres, a pixelated graffiti mask appeared on the screen, splitting in an overlarge grin. "Gutter trash and gentlefolk," a syrupy voice came over the loudspeaker. The voice shifted from a smooth announcer's voice to harsh, feminine whisper. "Tonight is a decision of fates. Her life as collateral, its threads tangled within." Then a deep growl. "A violent spectacle, unlike any show you've ever seen here." It sounded like garbled audio clips pulled from movies. This power-tripping AI was putting on some sick display, and she was the main attraction. Riven's stomach turned as her footsteps struck the holospheres. Without her guns, she felt exposed, and Banshee had her right where it wanted her. She glanced up and across the spheres. They were empty, but an elevator crawled through the other tube from the bestiary. With that, the voice said, the curtain falls. The crowd gasped as the room plunged into utter darkness. Riven's instincts screamed at her to get out. There was that familiar bloody tang at the back of her mouth. She stilled her breath, listening. Within the spheres, no footsteps, no flickers. You survived this, said a static, garbled voice over the loudspeakers, and I'll give him back. One hell of a bargain. Not that she had much choice. Her breaths were starting to come ragged. Stay conscious. Nobody's here to catch you if you fall. A flash of red on the spheres cut through the darkness. 3, 2... Oh damn, the gravity shift counter. Riven braced herself to flip. 1. Riven jumped and shifted in the air toward the ceiling, 15 feet above her. The ceiling, which was now the floor. After a moment of brain-shattering vertigo, she stumbled into a landing. Pushing the braid out of her eyes, her head throbbed. This gravity shifting could kill her if she landed on her neck. Maybe that was the point. The crowd floor was now above her. A spotlight shone at her feet, illuminating her. Just her. She straightened and craned her neck backward, flashing the crowd a grin and a confident wave. Anything to prevent them from knowing she was in over her head. The spotlight dimmed as the floor shook beneath her feet. Another elevator had arrived. Riven rolled her shoulders, falling into the defensive stance she trained in with Samir at CAA. Her skull pricked like needled as her pulse rose. Being unarmed against a bunch of monsters was better odds than the poison in her nervous system. Banshee wasn't going to let her escape, but it still had Ty, and that was the reason she needed to get out of here alive. Through the dark was the hiss of a door sliding open. The Brutor had arrived. The screens flashed with fireworks of blacklight paint. In the brief light, Riven saw a shaggy, hulking form stalking the sphere directly opposite her. The Brutor launched itself forward on powerful haunches, its face splitting into vicious teeth, and on the surface of the spheres, flashes of light marked other footsteps. Invisible footsteps. Anteleons. Too many for her to fight alone, and nobody was coming to save her. And there you have it, folks. My thoughts on City of Shattered Light by Claire Winn. And I hope you enjoyed my reading of the excerpt. If you did, please subscribe to this channel and give it a like. And if you are an author, make sure you get in the comments and let me know so you can get on the list. I already have a list forming of other authors who wanted me to do reviews and readings. I'd also like to add that Claire Winn has a second book in this series coming out May 20th, and you can pre-order now on Amazon, Goodreads, and everywhere books are sold. So make sure you get your copy of City of Shattered Light so you can be ready for its finale in City of Vicious Night. As always, I've been the Writing Ref, and that's the officiated story.